What's going on, people? In this video, I am going to try and explain how to play efficiently with keyboard and mouse. Um, if you know anybody who possibly is playing games on Steam and they have to play keyboard and mouse, in this video, I'm gonna try to best break down how to properly use keyboard and mouse so that they can be efficient and play the game comfortably without having to worry too much about, what the hell they're doing. And, they can have a lot more fun when you kind of understand the concept of controlling their character properly so that, you know, they could beat the levels and play the game. Okay, so as you can see, I'm very comfortable with the buttons, with the character, how to move around efficiently. So I'm gonna try my best to break it down so that other people could be just as efficient. So there's two concepts that I feel are very important when playing a game on keyboard and mouse. And the first concept that I think is very important when playing the game on keyboard and mouse is your hand placement on the keyboard. So I'm right-handed, so I play on keyboard and mouse with my left hand on the keyboard and my right hand on the mouse. You're holding both of these simultaneously, and it's super essential that you have control over both of these um, in a way where you're using both at the same time. It's essential to use both at the same time. More than likely, you can't overuse one because you kind of need both at the same time in order to really be efficient. So, like I was saying, the first concept that you must master when learning keyboard and mouse is your hand placement. Your You have the main buttons that in most games on keyboard and mouse, you're going to use this for your directional input. W, the W button, the A button, the S button, and the D button. Those are usually your main directional input buttons on the keyboard and mouse. If you click them really fast, more than likely you're going to go in a circle. If you click WASD, you're going to go in a circle. If you click them slow, you're going to be going in a square. That's important because essentially you need to understand that this is the buttons you're going to press to control your character. As you see, I'm moving around and my character is moving by pressing these buttons. But as you can see, right, the camera is kind of moving in its own way. I'm not moving the camera at all. The camera is moved with your mouse. So your mouse is just as important as you pressing these buttons because essentially your mouse is going to control the direction of forward. So what I mean by that is if I'm facing my camera towards this door and I press W, which is forward, my character is going to go towards the door. If I face my camera towards the box and I press forward, my character is going to go towards the box. So essentially, your character is going to go in the direction of wherever you point the camera to. So um, essentially, if I'm pressing forward, and I'm moving my camera, the character is going to go towards wherever I point the camera to. So I can run around this box as many times as I want, as long as I'm holding forward and moving the camera in the direction of around the box. So the camera is very, very important, and that's the second concept of learning how to master keyboard and mouse. The first concept is your hand placement on the keyboard, and the second concept is your mouse controls the camera, and wherever you control the camera, wherever you point the camera, by pressing forward, your character is going to go that direction. Right? So back to hand placement, right? You want your ring finger sitting on the A button. You can hover it over, you can have it resting on it. As long as you're not pressing too hard on it to where you're accidentally pressing buttons, it's pretty much fine. How I do it is just, I kind of just have it resting on the keyboard. Maybe I have it hovering a little bit, so whereas like the tips of my fingers are just touching it very lightly. Um, but yeah, you can kind of just do whatever's comfortable for you. Like, I do like having my fingers just, the tips of my fingers just touching it lightly, so I'm just ready to, effectively press whatever button I want to press. But some people, they have it resting on it, and then they just dig deep into the button just like that. But me, I like having it a little bit pointed, a little bit, just slightly touching it, and then I'm just ready to, press whatever button I want. But essentially, right, your ring finger is sitting on the A button. Your middle finger is sitting on the W button. And then your pointer finger is sitting on the D button. If you're looking at your keyboard, the keyboard is kind of diagonal. So if your middle finger is resting on the W, pretty much in a diagonal direction, that's what your middle finger should be covering, as far as if you need to press the S button or you need to press the X button. That's kind of your middle finger's job, is these three buttons: the W, the S, and the X. Your ring finger right here, its main job is the A button, which is left, but it also should be covering the Q button and the Z button. Diagonal from the Q to the A to the Z, that covers your ring finger. So if you follow the same concept, your pointer finger is supposed to be covering the D button, which is the right the right input. It's covering the E button, which is just above the D, and it's also covering C. That's the placement for your three main fingers that you're going to be resting on the keyboard. You also have the pinky finger, which is going to be resting on the shift button, the left shift button. In this game, shift is going to do a dash. Have your character do a dash. You can also do a dash in the air. But essentially, your pinky is going to cover the caps lock, the shift button, and the control button. Essentially, it's kind of just like typing. Usually when you type, it's a little bit different, but basically, when you're gaming and you're using WASD, those are the buttons associated with the fingers. So your pinky finger covers caps lock, shift, and control. Your ring finger covers Q, A, and Z. Your middle finger covers W, S, and X. And your pointer finger covers E, T, and C. You have one more finger, but some people don't call it a finger, but essentially, you have the thumb as well. The thumb usually kind of rests under the keyboard, but kind of just depends how you play. You can also have the thumb kind of resting on the space button, but essentially, your thumb's main job is to press the space button. That's its main job. Every finger has a main job. The pointer finger's main job is to press D, which is right. Your middle finger's main job is to press forward, which is W. That's your middle finger's main job. Your ring finger's main job is to press A, which is left. And then your pinky finger's main job is to press shift. That's the main job of the pinky, it's just to press shift. The main job of the thumb is to press the space button. So essentially, if you master the placement of your fingers when playing these keyboard and mouse games, you can kind of just have your fingers resting on those buttons, the main job buttons. Or you can just have them, in the rest position, maybe close to the main job buttons. For me, like I said, I like having my fingers pointed a little bit and the tips of my fingers touching the keyboard, the main buttons for each associated finger. So they're touching the keyboard, and then my thumb is usually resting maybe on the bottom of the keyboard, on the bottom of the button, or just right below the keyboard itself. And then whenever I actually need to jump, I just move my thumb up so it's in position to press the button. And then, I press it. But whenever I'm not really needing to press it, I usually just have my thumb sitting below the keyboard if I don't actually need my thumb for anything. So I could, have my hand resting and not put too much stress on my hand and get carpal tunnel or whatever. But essentially, that's the first concept of keyboard and mouse, is the placement of your fingers, mastering the placement of your fingers. If you need to rewind the video, I would suggest doing that, because essentially, in order to be efficient at games on keyboard and mouse, you need to master your hand placement on the keyboard. Now, going into the second concept, that's the most important concept for playing, or the second most important concept for playing keyboard and mouse games, is you have to control the camera view as best as possible. With these games, right? Most of these games on keyboard and mouse, if you don't control the camera view, you're gonna end up in corners and not know where the hell you're at. Or you're gonna be, moving around and you're gonna wonder why. Like, for example, if you jump on this thing right here, the camera is gonna kind of do its own thing. It's gonna be going in a circle, and the whole point of this area is you wanna jump on this platform, you wanna jump on this platform, then you wanna jump on this platform. But if the camera view is going in a circle and you're not controlling your camera, you're gonna be lost. You're gonna try to jump on this platform up there, and your camera view is gonna be looking over here, and then you're gonna jump, and then you're gonna die. And if you played this game with a noob or a newbie, or somebody who's new to the game, you will see the most insane things ever. Like, the character is supposed to jump up here onto this platform, get up there, and then jump over here. You're gonna see them somehow, some way, jumping and like over here or something. Like it doesn't even make sense. But in reality, the only reason they're doing that is because they don't understand the concept that they have to control the camera with the mouse. Um, as you see with my mouse, right, I only have a small amount of space right here. Some people have, a whole area for their hand and arm to move, which essentially I do find that better to be able to move your arm and hand like a lot more. But even if you have a small enclosed space for your hand and the mouse, you have to understand the concept of moving your mouse and picking it up and moving it, picking it up, moving it, picking it up, moving it, picking it up, moving it, so that you can kind of angle your camera in the direction that you want to go. Another concept with the mouse is that the faster you swipe, the bigger the turn of the camera. So, yeah, you can move it like this, which is like doing small swipes to angle the camera around the character. But if you really count that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm back to full circle. But if you do a quick swipe of the mouse, that's 2 swipes, and I'm already back full circle. That's a concept where like once you master the camera view, you could kind of choose when and where to like swipe really fast, or just do slow swipes, maybe quick ones to like get really good angles. But essentially, the faster you swipe it, the bigger the turn. You know, if you want to do a really really big swipe, you can almost go full circle with one swipe. But essentially, another thing, basically, your mouse is like the keyboard, right? If you move the mouse up, the camera view is going to go up. If you move the mouse down, the camera view is going to go down. So if you end up like this, where it's like, where the hell am I? And my camera view is just nowhere to be, helping you. You want to move it up. Move it to where it's leveled. You always want to be leveled when you're moving the camera. The other concept is that your character is always going to go in the direction of the camera. So if my camera is facing towards the door and I press forward, which is W, my character is going to go towards the door. If I move my camera to the right and I press W, which is forward, my character is going to go towards this wall. If I point my camera to the box and I press forward, which is W, my character is going to go towards the box. So essentially, I'm holding W, and that's the only button I'm pressing. I'm not pressing right or left on my keyboard. I'm just pressing forward, but I'm moving my camera. I'm essentially going in the direction that I want to go in because I'm pointing my camera in that direction. Right? If I'm facing this way and I'm pressing forward the whole time, but I want to turn around, all I really have to do is just move my camera to the direction I want to go in and continue pressing forward, and I'll go in that direction. Some people, they might get confused and, okay, since my character is moving this way and I want to go backwards, I have to press the down button to move my character back. But now, as you see, like, the camera view is all wonky. You're not even looking at where you want to go. Next thing you know, you're falling off the map. So essentially, you always kind of want to move your camera in the direction that you want to go in. So yes, you can move back, but at the end of the day, you always want to adjust your camera so that instead of pressing back, you're pressing forward. Like forward is like your main tool for, directional inputs. And your second main tool is moving your mouse. And if you really understand that concept, you're gonna succeed in these type of games. For example, this is one example, right? As you can see, the camera is moving by itself. I'm not touching anything to do with the camera. But because I'm on this spinning thing, the camera is gonna kind of spin with the character. But if I'm having control over the mouse and control over the camera view, I can constantly adjust the camera to stay on the next platform that I'm trying to reach. It's not gonna get lost and I'm gonna be spinning around and looking at random things. I'm gonna keep my camera view on the next area that I'm trying to go. And whenever I want to move, I press W, which is forward, and I'm able to jump in that direction. Same with right here. My camera view is going in weird directions, but I want to go over here. So what I must do is always aim my camera in the direction I want to look at and the direction I want to go in, because W, which is forward, is my main tool for moving directions. My mouse just died. That's kind of trash. Hold on 1 second. Portable charger comes in the clutch. Okay, come back to life. Alright, cool. Alright, back to what I was saying. Yeah. Basically, you want to point your camera in the direction that you want to go in. And then W and pointing your camera are your two main tools for moving your character. So I'm going to show you another example, another concept. Alright. If I'm over here, right, in this open space, and I'm moving really fast, right, I'm running. All I'm doing is pressing W, but as you can see, I'm not running off the map because I'm not running off the map because before, I get to the edge of the map, I change my camera view so that essentially my character is going to go in whatever direction I point the camera in. I point the camera by moving the mouse. So I'm never going to just fall off randomly as long as I know where I'm going and I know where I want to point the camera. My character is always just going to directly change its path to follow the camera. Wherever you point the camera, the character is going to go towards it. So essentially, you can accompany all of that information with dashes, with jumps. For example, right, if I'm facing my camera directly straight, I will jump onto this pillar right here. Right? In this game, you can double jump. You can jump once and then jump again. So if I jump off of this pillar, but I change the direction of the camera to face this second pillar up here, even though I'm jumping off this way, I can change my character to land on that pillar by just changing the camera view. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm pressing W forward, which is your main tool for moving your character. Your second main tool for moving the character is the mouse. Changing your camera. Pointing your camera in whatever direction you want to go in. These are your two main tools right here. So, if I'm jumping off of this thing, and I say, oh no, I want to go over here. You saw what I did? I changed my camera view to point over there. So that I know I'm jumping over here, but before the second double jump falls to the ground, I could change my direction so that I land over there. Alright. So let me run off this. Ooh, nope. I changed my camera view at the last second, and then I did the double jump, and I was able to land on that platform and not land on this platform. Let's say that platform down there was like dying, basically, and you didn't want to die, and you're running off and you jump. Oh my god, no, let me change. Boom. I changed the camera view to over here, and all I was doing was pressing W. If you look at it closely, if you rewind the video, put it in slow motion, I'm only pressing W. I'm pressing shift as well, but that's because shift is going to help you get to certain areas, you know, but essentially, if I wanted to just press W, that's a better chance at making the jump versus, you know, let's say I wasn't going to use my mouse, and I'm running across, and maybe I try pressing left while I'm in the air. You're not going to make the jump. As you see, there's no way in hell you're going to make that jump. But if I change the camera, you're a lot closer. You might want to press shift as well, but you know, at least you caught on to it, you know, without having to press shift. But essentially, changing your camera is like your number 2 to your number 1. Your number 1 is always going to be W, because that's going to move your character forward, and your number 2 is moving the mouse. So if you're moving the mouse and the camera, you can always go whatever direction you want to go in. It doesn't matter how fast you're going, as long as you master those two concepts, you will master keyboard and mouse. That's about it for this video. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments, and I'll try my best to make another video explaining it as best as I can. But hopefully this video helped you. If you find it helpful, you can send it to, you know, your friends, your family, your partners, if they ever want to become more efficient and better at keyboard and mouse. Just to recoup, alright, just reinstate everything. The first concept of becoming good, becoming efficient at keyboard and mouse is your hand placement on your keyboard. Your pinky or your ring finger on S, your middle finger on W, your pointer finger on D, your pinky finger sitting on the shift button, and your thumb, you can sit it on the space bar or you can sit it right below, but basically you know, right, that the main button for the thumb is the space bar. The main button for the pointer finger is D. The main button for your middle finger, W. The main button for your ring finger, A. The main button for your pinky finger, Shift. Also, the diagonal buttons correlate with the finger. So Q, A, and Z is your ring finger, diagonal. W, S, and X, your middle finger. diagonal, E, D, and C. Your pointer finger, diagonal. Your pinky finger, caps lock, shift, control. That's your pinky. And your thumb, space bar. Maybe you can press Alt, but nobody cares about Alt right now. Space bar mainly, right? For your thumb. Then the next concept, the second concept, in order to master and be efficient at keyboard and mouse, is you must move your camera. Moving your camera is super important, and you must master the idea that your character is always going to move in the direction of wherever you point the camera at. So if you press forward, no matter where the camera is pointed, your character is going to go in that direction. If I point it towards the stairs and I press forward, my character is going to go towards the stairs. If I point it towards this empty space down there, I'm going to fall down. If you master those two concepts, you will be good at keyboard and mouse and these type of games. Hope this video helped. Like, share with your friends. Thanks for watching. Peace. Another 30-minute video.